Welcome to an Odyssey in Leadership. The purpose of this part of the project is for schools to embark on a journey that takes them from a focus on leaders to a focus on leadership. Where the focus remains on leaders themselves, then this may well just become an end in itself, and the capacity of leaders to communicate passion and purpose may be inhibited. Where leadership emerges, the whole school unites around a shared understanding of the values and beliefs and the meaning and purpose of schools. Here children start to explore themselves through their education, and better understanding emerges of learning and themselves as learners, which raises levels of achievement. This provides schools with a real sense of direction and purpose, and it unites the whole community in collaborative and supportive relationships. Here, every individual plays their part in releasing the potential of the school, which is only possible when leadership emerges from the shadows of leaders. When this potential starts to emerge, then it starts to have a real impact in every classroom from early years to Key Stage 5, where the notion that good teaching leads to good learning is turned around, and good learning leads to transformational teaching. And here, children continuously and permanently develop their capacity to learn and raise levels of achievement. Paradoxically, left to their own devices, individual leaders may inhibit the capacity of the school to raise levels of achievement, because they may create a ceiling through which those levels of achievement will not rise. Individual leaders may find problems within their community that they then seek to create solutions for. The problem is that these solutions then often go on to become the next generation of problems that the leaders need to solve. Peter Hawkins, in his book A Wise Fool's Guide to Leadership, wrote that the solutions to yesterday's problems become the symptoms of tomorrow's troubles. What happens is that leaders may try and put those solutions together in some sort of holistic whole, and this becomes a bit like somebody trying to put back together the bits of the broken mirror, and the leaders are likely to be no more successful, for at the end of the day all you have is a broken mirror. For leaders to lead their schools on this journey, they themselves need to confront two quests, and this will take courage and trust. The first quest is for leaders to better understand the art of levitation. The second quest is for them to better understand the art of letting go. The art of levitation is the leader's capacity to rise above the tasks and political expectations that are being placed on them and their school. Not to ignore them, but in order that they might lead through values and beliefs. For it's within these values and beliefs that the story of the school can be found, both its present story and the story that it wants to write for itself in creating its future. Leading through story, through values and beliefs, brings the community together in a shared sense of purpose and aligns that community so that powerful and positive communication starts to emerge. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry wrote that the way to get people to build a ship is not to teach them carpentry, assign them tasks and give them schedules to meet, but to inspire them to long for the infinite immensity of the sea. If the first quest, the art of levitation, is to bring the whole school community together in a sense of common purpose, the second quest for the leader is to better understand the art of letting go, which creates space for the community to grow and for leadership to emerge. Lao Tzu, the 3rd century Chinese general, wrote that leaders are best when people barely know they exist. Not so good when people obey and proclaim them, worst when they despise them. Honour the people and they will honour you. And if a good leader who talks little, when the work is done and their aim fulfilled, the people will all say, "We did this ourselves." Peter Hawkins went on to write in A Wise Fool's Guide that leaders should not just do something, but to sit there and listen. And when they do that, they start to hear the stories that are being told within their school and start to better understand where their school needs to be led from. In the Odyssey project, in order to guide schools through this journey, we use the 12 steps of the hero's journey, the work of Joseph Campbell. And this creates a map which will guide the schools to not only understand where to build their path to their future, but how to build it. You'll find on the website plenty of activities and information about the 12 steps that you can start to use in the development and growth of a team or the whole school. When that journey is complete, the quest achieved by walking along the 12 steps of the hero's journey, then what emerges in the school is an understanding of the art of flocking. Those great flocks, the great aerial ballets that starlings create in the sky, for years people looked to find the leaders in those flocks, and they couldn't find them. They couldn't find them because they don't exist. Every bird takes responsibility for the part it plays in the flock. Every bird takes responsibility for flying as close to the centre of the flock, for flying at the same speed as other birds, for flying as close as they can to other birds, and each bird takes responsibility for avoiding fixed objects. How good a flock is your school? In practical terms, what emerges in your school, what you start to see and hear, are people understanding the current values that are creating the climate of the school that sometimes are hidden underneath the surface, and to be sharing a sense of understanding of the future values they want, the path that needs to be built to those future values, and how to build it. Supportive relationships emerge within the community that are essential to good path building. Everybody in the community starts to internalise the values, the meaning and purpose of schools, and these become ingrained in the behaviour within the school, impacting on the learning and engagement in the classroom. Everybody in the community makes a choice to become a hero of path building and to grow themselves and develop their own capacity to contribute to the building of that path. And with that comes satisfaction and fulfilment as the values of leadership and meaning and purpose of schools emerge. Karen Roberts, the deputy head in Milton Keynes, wrote that 12 people attended the workshop, one team left it. Those people chose to unite around a common sense of meaning and purpose of schools. Anne, who attended a workshop, wrote, "The journey we've made brought me to realise that I could change things around me if I really wanted to, that I hold part of the group responsibility for the course story. The day after, I felt as if a huge weight had been lifted from me, and that feeling has continued." By moving from a focus on leaders to leadership, then the potential of the school is released, and its capacity to bring about change in the classroom from a place where the presupposition is that good teaching leads to good learning, which it doesn't, to a place where good learning leads to transformational teaching. I hope this has been of some interest to you. If you'd like to be in touch and start a conversation, then it'd be great to hear from you. Many thanks.